Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic, spectacular, obviously the best thing ever episode of Death Battle Cast.
All right.
This is the best one
so
we're gonna do until the next one. Guarantee it.
Yeah, exactly.
So high expectations, guys. Better be ready for a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, as always, I'm
up.
Ben, joined by Chad. We got Liam and we got Sam.
That's
What's up,
us.
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you guys.
Um,
Today we have
Yep, that's you guys.
very interesting battle between Marvel and DC's, most popular, most famous, most incredibly superhuman mob
Crime
boss
lords.
guys, right? Yeah.
And they're both mayors.
And mayors, yes, elected officials into crime. Yeah, totally
it's
not relevant
wild
at
that
all.
a criminal would get elected to any office. That's insane. what a weird, wacky comic book
What are you
world.
talking about? So we are talking about Kingpin versus the Penguin, and we'll get to that in a minute.
I do want to say at the top, I am streaming from a new setup. If you have audio issues, let me know in the chat because I'm watching it like a hawk because I want to get everything perfect. But just so you know, if you're hearing a weird thing or something, it might be a little different. Let me know. I'll fix it.
Yes, we are keeping an eye on chat. If you are not aware and you're watching this later, we stream Death Battle Cast every Tuesday at noon Central Time. And we love seeing all you guys in the chat. And of course, at the end of this show, you're going to be able to vote on who should win between the Penguin and the Kingpin. Liam will be representing the Penguin. Sam will be representing the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The King Penguin.
King Penguin. King Penguin. King Penguin is a type of penguin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Good,
emperor.
good.
It's an emperor penguin, right? Not a king penguin.
They're separate.
Oh,
yeah,
word?
emperors are slightly bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, and king penguins are slightly smaller.
Okay.
Gelatin Man says your beard's looking good, Ben.
Thank you. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep it,
You
but
should keep
maybe
I
we'll do a poll on that.
No, I think keep it. It's a strong choice. I like it.
Things I say to my children.
Yeah, we'll vote on whether I keep this and also whether Liam keeps children, I guess. Okay, so yes, like I said, Liam is going to be repping Penguin. Sam is going to be repping Kingpin. It is their job to convince all of us, that's including you all watching this live right now, that their character should win a death battle. I really don't know how this is going to go. These are two characters who, as far as I'm aware, just kind of yell at Batman and Spider-Man and Daredevil and let other people generally do their work for them. I guess Kingpin's like a fucking monster truck. So
Yeah.
I was about to say,
but I don't know what Penguin's gonna do. So let's start with Kingpin, because I feel like he's the one that a lot of people. I know the Penguin series just came out, but I feel like a lot of people are familiar with like how Kingpin is like a combatant, especially after like the Spider-Verse stuff. And of course Daredevil's coming back. And there's a lot of talk about that. So Sam, you want to talk a little bit about Kingpin?
Yeah, why not? Kingpin is part of Spider-Man / Daredevil's Rogue Gallery, and he is a really, really, really big man. I mean, gargantuan. And, he's not fat like you might think. He's actually super duper wicked strong. In fact, like he is a normal man, but he's not at all. In one of the comics, there's a panel where he's doing his like morning workout, and he's, I think, just curling 1,200 pounds. Like, I mean, it's 1,200 pounds. It says so on the fucking weights. He's got 6 of them, and they're each 200 pounds. But like, he's insanely strong. He crushes boulders with his hands. Like, I mean, he's able to actually go toe to toe with. He beats the shit out of T'Challa, where T'Challa has to escape. He beats the shit out of so many people you do not think he should be able to beat, including Spider-Man on occasion. He whoops Daredevil's ass a lot of times, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, he's just a really, really strong, really, really bad mafia man.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, those familiar with Spider-Verse, I know it's alternate universe or whatever, but he is, spoilers, the one who kills Spider-Man. So that's kind of intense.
Yeah, he Yeah, he's a mastermind and a really strong. It's like weird because usually you don't get the like absolute humongous brute force guy that is the kingpin of the crime thing, but no, he's wicked strong.
That being said, I mentioned before we went live, like, oh yeah, we were talking about how Kingpin's become kind of a Daredevil villain, but he started as a Spider-Man villain. And I remember as a kid getting introduced to him through the Spider-Man cartoon, where his origin story is, if I recall correctly, he was with a gang and they were running away from a scene of crime or whatever. And they had to climb up a ladder, but he was too fat to climb the ladder. And so he was like, and so he got caught. And he made it his mission to like work out and become the most like buffest dude ever. And then he became the Kingpin. Right? That's his origin story, right?
Child Kingpin in that just looks like a smaller adult Kingpin. He doesn't look like a child. He just looks like somebody like in like Photoshop like shrunk him down. I'm pretty sure he's still like bald and is still like looks exactly the same. Yeah, but he's like, Daddy, I cannot climb the ladder, Daddy.
Yeah, so Kingpin's definitely
great origin
a lot
story.
of different takes, but yeah, but he's also kind of cool. So like, let's be real, Kingpin's kind of hard. He's kind of cool.
But says Kingpin's just an all-natural Bane.
Yeah, there you go.
One point where Kingpin, I was trying to find the context on this, but they're demons, and the demons are saying, "I'm here from." My boss is the boss of all demons, assumably the devil. Anyways, and then Kingpin punches a demon and he explodes. And literally the next panel is, wow, Kingpin punched it and it just blew up.
That's awesome.
He can punch so hard demons blow up. I'm just gonna. That's our baseline. Okay?
Okay. Well, we've been hyping up Kingpin pretty well here, but I'm curious, Liam. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a challenge for you. For once, you get the challenging character matchup.
I don't think so. I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I disagree.
Tell us. How does Penguin deal with this? Who is the Penguin? What does he do? How does he fight?
Penguin Oswald Cobblepot, variety of different backstories, whether he was born to a rich family or whether he wasn't. But he starts off as a freakish, like disgusting bird-themed criminal who trains birds to commit crimes with him and for him. And over time, as the comics sort of evolved, his character evolved and he became less directly focused on committing crimes himself, and he became more of like a respected businessman, quote unquote. He owned the Iceberg Lounge, which he really just used as a front for other criminal activities. He eventually became super rich and became mayor of Gotham City. So his character is sort of like, it's actually kind of similar to Kingpin's character arc, where they both become kind of respected, almost philanthropic figures in the cities where they live, but they're really like the heads of massive criminal organizations. And a big theme of Penguins is that throughout everything that goes on in Gotham City, he has like clung to power. And I think because of that shift in his character, he is perceived as not being a fighter, not being someone that can fight Batman. He is like just somebody that sends henchmen to do his stuff for him, but he actually can't. It is something that was put very clearly and established in his post-crisis history that he is an extremely tough physical fighter. And as I'll show, with tons of other shit. He's similar to Kingpin physically, and has way more of an arsenal to back him up.
Similar to Kingpin physically?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah. Can we all agree that Danny DeVito as the Penguin is like the best casting ever, though?
Love him as the Penguin.
Mud Mr. Face gifted out 5 memberships, by the way. Thank you. If you guys got a membership, go check out all of our membership content. And now you can talk in the chat. Also, Grave King.
When we say the same as Kingpin physically, it's less that he, like, the Penguin is like capable of fighting and beating Spider-Man in a physical fight, and more that the Kingpin, like, we're going to talk about like scaling like Marvel like street level Marvel characters a little bit more, but they are in the same tier. They are both like street level characters that can fight that should be able to fight the similar kinds of characters. And it's more that Kingpin scaling directly to Spider-Man is not quite not quite accurate. Even though
Man
he
in
is
chat
like-
says this seems very much like a street tier version of Stitch versus Rocket Raccoon. Does that sound right to you?
Kind of, but Kingpin isn't like gonna be ripping the Penguin apart. Like he isn't able to. Like if you want to put gun to my head, I could say like in a arm wrestling contest, perhaps Kingpin would win. But then at the other end, if it was like if you're comparing speed, I'd actually argue that Penguin would win. I think they're physically comparable to each other. My point is that like Kingpin isn't going to be just like one-shotting Penguin and then be done. It's
Gotcha.
that
It'll be two-shotting Penguin. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Uh,
All right. Clearly, I'm gonna. This is. I guess your prediction of an uphill battle was sort of you. Was more predictive than you thought, Ben. If I'm going to be fighting.
predictive or forced? We'll see.
Yeah.
So okay. Well,
First
what
off,
is-
can I bring
what
up an
is-
image?
Sure.
Is it
Can
the
you?
one
I'd
that
like to
I
bring up-
found?
Yeah, it is.
Which
I'd like to
image?
bring up Penguin 1.
There we go. I put it over
So
10.
we
Um,
were talking about this matchup yesterday, and I found this image, and I was dying. Sorry, I
So
was looking-
Penguin is fucking
funny.
jacked. This look
This
at
is
that.
Penguin, by the way. If you're watching
This
this,
is Penguin.
the
Look at
video,
that
this is
nose.
Penguin.
Look at that. Look at that face all the way to the right. That is a meme.
I love how he's still wearing his monocle while practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's that
working
shit
out.
never comes off. The monocle stays. But yeah, it is established that Penguin becomes like a master of boxing and judo, and he does that to like fight bullies, basically, because bullies are like, "You're a fucking ugly freak, you freak," and he's like, "I'll kill you."
So he trains
And
in secrecy
Jesus.
for months.
yeah.
Yeah, he goes into the Penguin cave and emerges stronger.
It's got a little hyperbolic time there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is
and-
a wild panel. That's so fun.
Yeah, so martial arts master was not on my bingo card for Penguin, but he did.
To
Pretty
be
crazy.
fair, he is going up against Batman like constantly.
Yes.
You gotta have some level of martial,
He does
training to-
actually fight
Yeah, I guess.
Batman. He has blitzed Batman actually. Batman has said like he has, it's a repeated thing with Batman where he's like, you wouldn't think it from his physicality, from how he looks, but he is extremely fast and agile, and that's really how with Batman is that he's able to he's so fast and agile and slippery, and you can't really get a hold of him. And he's
Well,
still
I-
able to beat Batman.
I actually think the first part of that,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think it, may
Yeah.
actually be a really important factor to this whole thing. Because
Yeah.
I'm curious, Sam, if Kingpin is going to look at Penguin and go, Psh, whatever, I'll squash this guy in like a second and completely underestimate what he's capable
I mean,
of.
I think Kingpin kind of has a similar through line where he's like, he's the one who's often underestimated in like, he has a really big emphasis on doing intelligence work. Like, I mean, part of his crime syndicate is spies and stuff who like do that. He has a big whole like arc with the Punisher, and part of that is like spying on him for a while, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, I it's hard to say because he is often the one who gets underestimated. In fact, there's like a really good panel where he, you know, kind of blitzes Deadpool because Deadpool, like literally Deadpool jumps at him and then he just pins Deadpool, and then Deadpool says like, "Wow, I forgot Fatty was so fast," which is very rude. But on brand for Deadpool, and like that is kind of his MO, is to be, people think he's this big lumbering fat guy, but he's actually an incredibly fast, like expert martial artist, you know. So yeah, I don't think he would underestimate him at all, but
44.
Yeah, I don't
they are kin. They are
yeah, they are
similar.
very
Yeah.
similar. Where they almost people underestimating them is like part of their toolkit, essentially.
Yeah.
Got it.
44 says Kingpin did kind of just walk through a blast from Doctor Doom, so like
Did he?
Doctor Doom can
They can
change
cross over.
the power of
Yeah.
his blasts. Like it's not.
Yeah.
If Doctor Doom was like, I can't kill him. His too strong. I'd be like, Oh, okay. Well, we can end the cast here.
Yeah, then we switch to a different matchup, I think, at that point.
And I want to talk about, because I
It's
do want
funny.
to make this point early, because this is important to why this is not, the fight is just isn't over immediately. Penguin 9 and Penguin 10, please, Sam. I don't like to just pull out like anti-feats, but this is actually like important and a thing that is like, this was an important thing in the story. It wasn't just some random thing that happened. So Kingpin was the one responsible for assassinating Aunt May after Spider-Man revealed his identity. Peter shows up in the prison where Kingpin is at, and then proceeds, and he's basically like, Kingpin's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna beat you to death. And Peter's like, this is the thing you need to understand about me. I hold back. And this is true, and this is a recurring thing with Spider-Man, is that Spider-Man holds back against the majority of his rogues gallery. He says, I have not been fighting you at full strength. And then he proceeds to beat the ever-loving fuck out of the Kingpin. He grabs him by the fucking throat and is just slapping him back and forth.
Oh my god.
And it's not to say that like Kingpin like is just can't fight Spider-Man at all, and every single fight they've had before is a lie. It's to make the case that like Spider-Man at his peak is above Kingpin. Kingpin is somebody that is closer in tier to somebody like a Batman or a Daredevil or a Punisher or a peak human, rather than like somebody like Spider-Man. Because I don't think Penguin could beat Spider-Man.
I would also say in this panel too, like it is symbiote Peter Parker.
It's not the symbiote. It's just a
the black suit.
Okay, it's still Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Beating the ever living shit out of Kingpin. Like he just killed Aunt May, angry Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And he doesn't or go unconscious, which I would say is a pretty serious feat. Like
I'm not denying that he can't take his hits. I'm just saying that if you think of Kingpin, don't think of him as being Spider-Man tier. Think of him as being Daredevil, Punisher, Deadpool tier, which is still superhuman, right? But then so is Batman, at least like how we analyze characters. I really am not trying to like harsh on his mellow. I'm just trying to establish that like this is they are physically comparable.
I do want to pull up here, because I did grab it, the Doom panel, because I found it that they're talking about, and it really is pretty damning, I would say.
Oh, he does overpower.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Holy shit!
Like I mean, it kind of burns him up a bit.
Wait. Is this Doom
Or a Doom
or
bot?
is this a retcon Doom bot?
Yeah,
Because that happens all the time with Doom.
Have to look
where
into
somebody trounces him, and then like 2 years later, somebody goes like, "Oh, remember that one time Squirrel Girl beat him up or whatever?" And they're like, "Oh no, it was just Doom bot."
If Dr. Doom is hitting him
count.
with like his fucking like planet busting like magical spell here, then I concede. Like obviously, but I think consistently
it would
they're
be
both
really inconsistent with literally everything else we see about Kingpin. So,
Also, Round One Fight had more info on the Spider-Man beating him up. Says he's actively aiming to torture him, not kill him. He explicitly said so after beating him. So he wasn't trying to kill him.
he was there to humiliate him in front of the other prisoners and be like,
in the panel, I think I saw he does say like, "I'm not here to kill you," or something along those lines. So yeah. Okay, so
Everybody's saying Doombot, but they might just be going with the meme.
probably.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Gelatin Man.
There's obviously a lot more to talk about with these characters than maybe at first appears to be at first glance. So I want to get into that, and I also want to get into like maybe how their mob organizations themselves might impact this if we want to bring them into the argument. But before that, I do want to talk about confidence and how these guys clearly had some confidence issues when they were younger, and they really made strides to improve their confidence and improve their performance, just like you guys can with our sponsor, Hims. I tried.
No, I was laughing at Sam slowly resizing your frame.
Your confidence can grow just like my image just did. The show is sponsored by Hims. Guys, if you've ever felt like you could use a little boost in the bedroom and ensure your confidence stays up, among other things, Hims has got your back. Hims is changing men's healthcare by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. Hims provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable hard mints, Viagra, Cialis, and even their generics for up to 95% cheaper. And if you're shy about it, don't worry. This is all done online, so there's no need for awkward doctor visits. All you got to do is just answer a few questions on their website, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option for you. And if prescribed, your medication ships directly to you for free. No insurance necessary. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, Hims can help you find the ED option that works for you. So start your free online visit today at hims.com/cast. That's HIMS.com/cast for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/cast. Now, the products mentioned are chewable and compounded products, which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions do require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate, and restrictions apply. See their website for details and important safety information. A subscription is required, and price varies based on the product and subscription plan. Thank you, Hims, for sponsoring us. Longtime sponsor of the show, coming back to sponsor us in our independent era. We appreciate Hims a lot. Helping us gain confidence in Death Battle's, continued success. Aha,
there you go.
Let's
Great
go
job.
back.
That was awesome. Yeah. And Joe Ferris says, wait, I thought Hims was about hair loss event. They do that as well.
They do that too.
Anything you got going on, they'll help.
Yeah. So do we want to bring in like their mob organizations? Does that matter?
Well,
I'm kind of leaving this up to you guys arguing. If you think like it would
I
make
didn't
sense
research
to include
that
it.
part.
Okay, well, then we don't need to worry about it. But I am curious if people are interested in that.
But like Penguin absolutely has to have his access to his penguin army, right?
Yeah, and the birds, all the trained birds and shit. Yeah, well, yeah, that would. But I feel like that would be Arsenal rather than like the henchmen that are dressed up like fucking penguins or whatever.
Right.
Boss, why do you make me dress like this? Also, somebody's also already made an emote for the Death Battle server of the penguin Chad face. From the comic panel I shared, the penguin, like the side, he's like,
with his nose,
just
great.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
I was like, why am I involved in this? It's a terrible name. I wish I didn't have it. Anyway.
You can change
Whoa.
Nah.
Uh-oh.
Change it. Do it.
At this
point, what? No, dude. At this point,
what are you talking about?
Change your name to Oswald. So that
yes, there you go, Oswald Cobb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about a terrible name? They literally changed it in the show, right? That just came out.
Oswald sounds fine. Then you could just go by Ozzy. I know the like singer kind of sucks.
Yeah, Oswald, but like Cobblepot is his last name, right?
Yeah.
Cobblepot before, and then in the new one it's Cobb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Cobblepot's just too silly. It's too silly for serious, gritty Gotham.
We need to. This is a serious show about a guy dressed in a fucking bat outfit.
So serious.
Kino says, I have no doubt that Kingpin would punch his way through an army of penguins with no hesitation. You wouldn't even need to remove morality.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Kingpin does he's not that bad. He saves a lot of children and shit, and he's not the ultimate
and
scumbag.
Then kills them.
No.
Yeah, but those penguins have rocket launchers, so
they sure do.
I don't know what you can do about that.
Can a rocket kill Kingpin, or is he strong enough to tank an RPG?
I'm gonna guess
rocket
he's
cannot kill Penguin though, because Penguin has tanked an RPG. He's also tanked a fucking building exploding. Penguin 3, Sam.
Yeah.
This was
wait.
He survived.
Sorry. I was just kind of joking. What?
He's in this building.
He's in this. It's more of a
fine.
At the top,
yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
What's the aftermath here?
He's knocked out, but he's okay. I think it was like an assassination attempt against somebody else, but he was there at the explosion and he survived it. He's tough. He's tough as fuck. He's not to be messed with.
Liam, I would love to know more about like his arsenal and like because the umbrella.
I would love
the
to talk
classic
about that.
umbrella. I would love to know what he has at his disposal.
So he's got tons of umbrellas, and it's not consistent whether or not it's like one umbrella per gadget or one umbrella
one, right?
that has tons of gadgets. I think it's a combination of both. So sometimes his umbrellas will do multiple things, but he does have tons of them. And I think that's an important point because Kingpin has a cane that does some of the things that Penguin's umbrellas do, but he only has one. So he has an umbrella that shoots out a poison that can kill a man in 10 seconds. He has an umbrella that can blow things up. He has a flamethrower umbrella. He has a laser umbrella. He has a knockout gas umbrella, a choking gas umbrella, a sleeping gas umbrella, a taser umbrella, which works on Batman even though his suit is fucking super insulated from electric shocks. He has a sword umbrella, a blade umbrella, a helicopter umbrella, which lets him like fly. He has an acetylene torch umbrella, an AK-47 umbrella. He has incendiary gas pellets. He has a sneeze powder umbrella, a heat ray umbrella, a flash bulb like a fucking solar flare umbrella. He has a jet umbrella, which, by the way, these umbrellas that let him fly give him a big mobility advantage against Kingpin, who is like, oh, on the ground, gonna be fucking flailing like an asshole. He has remote controlled umbrellas. He has a hypnosis umbrella. He has heat-seeking rocket launcher umbrellas, and he has a machine gun umbrella. So he has so much fucking, like, he has such a wide variety of stuff to just fuck with Kingpin. The Kingpin's gonna be like trying to sumo him, and Ozzy's gonna be in the sky like the Green Goblin, like shooting like fucking RPGs at him.
Levitation says, "Give this thing to Ismog."
This is our live action fight.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one.
that's so funny. So I definitely could see Kingpin like powering through, like getting tased or like the poison that would kill somebody in 10 seconds. I feel like they'd write that. You know what I mean?
Maybe if it were the writers.
Like working through it here, let me just throw this image up really quick. This, you can see here, he's fighting the Punisher, and the Punisher does a trick and stabs him. And he even says it's a 10-inch blade, and it's probably about 2 inches of table. And he's just chill. He just goes through it, and then he chokes the Punisher out. Like, that is a fucking 10-inch machete,
a lot of blood,
straight into his chest, and he's just like, I'm still gonna choke you out, bro. Like,
and he's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, no, he's fine.
Ow.
He beats the Punisher.
He's tough.
Like,
he's a tough guy. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like, what do you do against hypnosis, right? What do you
don't get hypnotized because you're the Kingpin. He's got anti-hypnosis training. Like,
what do you do against knockout gas
right.
or a sneeze powder? You know?
Yeah, that's what it really is.
Okay,
Kingpin
hang on.
sneezes himself to death.
What is this sneeze powder? Is it literally just a powder that makes you sneeze over
Pepper?
and over and over?
There's no way I have a fucking scan of that. It's probably from pre-crisis. It was a list on the wiki. It's
Gotcha.
probably from like pre-crisis or whatever. He's like, I'm going to make Batman sneeze, and Batman's like, fuck, I'm gonna kill him.
It just makes him sneeze forever. That sounds like a classic, like old school
crippling
Batman story, right?
The choking gas, though. I mean, the stuff like the poisons and the gases. If you don't think that the rocket launcher would be enough to at least like hurt him, the physical stuff would wear him down at worst. But then the other stuff like the gases and the poisons would be able to, and the hypnosis would be able to bypass durability essentially.
Yeah, I mean, he is strong
And
enough to
because he has
survive
tons
a
of them.
blast from Doom, so I don't know if the RPG is doing anything to him, to be honest.
Okay, all right.
I mean, even if it's a Doom bot, yeah, I don't know. But
It's probably worse than an RPG, I bet.
Sarah Forgas says apparently Kingpin beat Captain America in a fist fight.
Yes, I have that too. If you want to look at that.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, where did I put this image? Kingpin Cap. There you go. Yeah.
Vamulator gifted 5. Thank you, Vamulator.
They're fighting. This is towards the end of the fight, and yeah, he just, they have a long fight, and then Captain America's like crushing the breath from me, about to black out, and then a hawk comes in and saves Captain America. We don't need to talk about the hawk, but like without
That was Penguin.
I was gonna say that seems like a weakness to birds, which is not gonna go well for him.
without the third party intervention, yeah, he just like hand to hand beats up Captain America. But
I assume that's
there's a
Red
bird.
Wing, but
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, being able to overpower Cap and get him in a lock like that is pretty impressive. And it sounds to me like this is going to turn into a kind of classic sort of Batman sort of fight where it's like Kingpin is potentially stronger, bigger, tougher. And if he gets a hold of Penguin, it's over. But Penguin has all these different gadgets and tools and tricks up his sleeve that could stop Kingpin before he actually gets into that situation. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I don't think the gap is as big as like Batman Spider-Man, where it's like, yeah, I mean, obviously Spider-Man's gonna like rip him apart once he gets his hands on him. But I think you could make that argument, yeah, that there is an advantage in Kingpin's court.
I do really think it would be interesting to see like with their crime empires how much like because Kingpin's, I know you said you didn't do a lot of research, but Kingpin's is like pretty vast in like, I mean, he owns New York essentially, and I know Penguin is kind of similar, but in like Gotham is pseudo New York, right? But it is like Kingpin is to the point where even the White House hires his henchmen one time because they need them, right? Like, I mean, he's got such like a deep connection with the government. He's like everything's paid for. In yeah, because of that, I think he's like, you know, nobody enters New York without him knowing, and things like that, like how vast it is, I think kind of would be maybe more
His
interesting than these two guys just fighting. It's like, how do their crime empires fight each other?
Apparently,
it's like
people
a
in the chat are
takeover.
saying that he has a nuke umbrella
I saw
and
that a
that
lot.
the hypnosis controlled Superman. So
Oh shit!
never mind.
Oh yeah, well, you already had Gelatin Man.
I don't-
Gelatin Man
Well,
says
okay, hang on.
hypnosis umbrella
The
plus
nuke
gun umbrella.
umbrella
That's all it takes.
kills him too, right? Like, does
I-
he have a way to
I
get
don't
away
know.
from the
Let's-
nuke?
Jet
Let's see if we can
umbrella
find this.
into the stratosphere, shoot nuke umbrella down.
Yeah. Wah! Just like
And by the way, the umbrellas are a fucking hammer space thing. The umbrellas are like, characters have been like, where did he keep that fucking umbrella that he just pulled out behind his back? Like, it's very much a hammer space thing. Don't think
I
about
mean, they
it.
fold up, right? Umbrellas.
Yeah.
Like, I have a few umbrellas that fold up into like
They're pretty
5 inches long.
collapsible,
They're
yeah.
pretty,
Yeah.
collapsible.
He
That's
just
a good
yanks them out of his ass.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't find the nuke, but I found a panel where he's dual wielding umbrellas. He's using one to fly,
that's so
and then he's
sick.
using the other one as a machine gun. And there's a
Umbrellas
shitload of
akimbo.
penguins like dive bombing around him. It's fucking sick.
all right. I'm getting more on board with this idea of penguin super umbrella fighter. Like, why umbrella? Okay. I
I
do want to
also-
say before we go on, we do have a sneak peek of Among Us versus Fall Guys we will be getting to later on in the show. I also want to do a quick shout out and say thank you to everybody who jumped over to our new music channel last week when we announced that. If you are and subscribe to it, if you have not seen that yet, look up Death Battle Beats on YouTube. We now have a YouTube channel that links to all of our official music that has been re-uploaded after they were taken down during the Rooster Teeth, shutdown and whatnot. Everything is there, and it also directly links to the artists who make it. So by listening to the music through the Death Battle Beats channel, you'll be directly supporting the artists who created it: Brandon Yates, Therewolf Media, etc. But we also plan on releasing a bunch of additional things on Death Battle Beats, and we currently have a new workout mix, like an ultimate workout mix, that's like an hour long, and it's fucking rad. So the next time you're at the gym, like Kingpin, because you gotta get a body like Kingpin, right? Listen to that track, and I guarantee you'll look like Kingpin by the end of it. Probably
Big
not,
claims.
but
yeah, definitely go subscribe. You might see some other new cool things happening there. Yeah,
it's Death Battle Beats. And we will be showing off the sneak peek for the upcoming Death Battle later on today. Speaking of beats, Chad.
Yeah, I'm going to
You-
talk
you have
about our
something you wanna
next
talk about, right?
sponsor, which is a sponsor that's near and dear to my heart, longtime sponsor of the show, and that's Raycon. I got my new ones. I'm so excited. So yeah, the show's sponsored by Raycon. The holidays are here, and it's not too late to pick up the perfect gift. But it can be tough to when you find out like you don't actually know what people in your life really want. So if you want to get something practical, they probably already have it. It's this whole thing. So why not choose something they could use every single day, like Raycon's everyday earbuds? These earbuds are a must-have for any audio lover and make an amazing holiday gift. Raycon's everyday earbuds latest model is better than ever with a 32-hour battery life, excellent noise cancellation, and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair with 2 devices at once. Y'all know how much I love Raycon, and I think they are perfectly named because I literally do use these every single day. I now also have my old ones as a backup for if I get lazy and don't charge it, because the battery life lasts so long that sometimes I then forget to charge it. So yeah, no, I literally use them every single day. I'm a huge audiobook nerd. I've actually been going through a trilogy that Sam put me onto, and I'm almost done, by the way, Sam.
Which one? We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. So yeah, I've been loving it. I use them all the time. And I was like, the first ones they sent me were black. I had those, and I was like, I want to do something fun. I want to get, because they got a bunch of new colors. So I was like, I'm gonna get forest green. So that's what I have going on here. They also have a ton. They've got like a highlighter yellow. They've got like a watermelon. What is it? No, Jolly Rancher or something. Hold on, what is it? It is it's a Jolly Rancher crossover one that they have going on right now, which looks really, really cool. So look, Raycons start at just half the price as other premium audio brands, which means if you're shopping for multiple people, pick up 2 gifts for the price of 1. Save big for the holidays and get up to 25% off site-wide at buyraycon.com/cast. That's right. You'll get up to 25% off everything on Raycon's website when you go to buyraycon.com/cast. Buyraycon.com/cast. Longtime supporter of the show. I love these so much. So good gift for yourself or for others. Go pick them up.
They're very good. I mean, I still have a pair they sent me in 2018 that I've been using as the backup pair for the newer pair, like you. And also, I have done hundreds of miles on bikes with them. They have fallen out of my ears at speed. They have survived an intense amount of not nice things because I just treat them like workout headphones. I throw them in my truck's glove box, and they work perfectly fine like 7 years later.
Everyday earbuds actually stay in pretty well. They do have a specific workout earbuds as well, if that's what you're interested in.
Yeah.
I want to say Third Degree in chat asks, will Death Metal Beats have instrumental versions of lyrical tracks? Actually, right now, if you go to that workout track mix that was uploaded to Death Metal Beats, there is an instrumental version of a track in that mix that we have never released. I will leave that up to you to find out what it is, but it's pretty easy to figure out, frankly. But yeah, that's in the workout mix. So yeah, you're going to see some new stuff on the channel for sure. Speaking of new stuff, what have we not talked about with Kingpin and Penguin? Penguin's got a bunch of umbrellas. Cool. What's Kingpin bringing in? Does he have any gadgets or weapons?
He does have a laser cane at one point. He has like a lot of...
That's pretty dope.
Let me see if I have anything about the laser cane.
He probably carries a gun.
I'm sure he carries at least one gun.
He's packing.
It's a disintegrator cane.
What?
Yeah.
Why am I not familiar with his disintegrator cane? Oh my god. It is literally a cane that vaporizes people and things. Fires a short pulse of 300 watts.
That doesn't sound like enough of energy.
I know, right?
But it can vaporize a handgun. I don't know. I think they might have just put a number on that without doing any actual thinking or science. But yeah, he does have. He's not as gadgeted up as Kingpin, or I mean, as Penguin is definitely.
Penguin.
But yeah, he doesn't necessarily rely on gadgets as much as he relies on other criminals and stuff, right? I think those are kind of more his gadgets. Like, I mean, he has a pretty long list of like assassins that work for him, right? So, like, even people like Elektra work for him for a long time. Bullseye, Typhoid Mary, what a weird character name. Yeah. So,
Jay-Z does stuff, says 2004 Batman show Penguin wielded a Green Lantern ring. I don't think we would count that as part of his arsenal. But
you see Liam
he
like
does.
really attached to it.
But he does have transformations that I can talk about.
Wait, what?
Okay, let's get into it. I knew this was coming up. Let's
Super
go.
Saiyan Penguin.
In the you fucking joke.
Oh, I'm not. I know.
Oh God.
I'm not going to start with that one. I'm going to start with the one that is obviously a one-time thing. So there was in everyone's favorite Batman / Journey to the West crossover comic book series. Penguin is finds this magical artifact and is possessed by a demon and becomes Golden Horn Penguin. Penguin 4, please, Sam. Where he becomes a mystical Chinese Journey to the West monster character that goes around and absorbs people's chi. So you can just like insta kill people just by absorbing their chi. And he keeps squawking. He's like, I will absorb your chi, squawk. It's really funny.
Okay.
Look at that guy's face. Right
This is him fusing with a demon, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is.
So the demon wouldn't necessarily be a part of this death battle.
No. I want to do it. Just talk about it because I have.
It's really
However,
funny.
That's insane.
You would not think that Penguin would get a transformation from the Journey to the West Batman crossover, but there you go. However, in the Dark Knight's series, the big kind of one of those big like DC like cosmic events, crisis events. Right before the reboot, this is in the final battle where everybody is fighting on whatever plane of existence, and Penguin is his back is against the wall. This is Penguin 5. He is battling other like dark multiverse versions of the Penguin, and he is not going to go down without a fight. He goes into this big emotional monologue about how he's a survivor, how he has withstood everything. He will not go down, but he is defeated and he is swallowed by the giant radioactive penguin. This is Penguin 6, and inside inside of the body of the radioactive penguin, he becomes the legendary super penguin.
Sorry, what?
Through the power of his will and his desire to survive, and probably the radiation from the radioactive penguin, Penguin 6 he starts to transform. Penguin 7, he transforms into the
Hell yes! Look how big it is too. He's huge,
and he
Wait,
fucking
so he just like
kills.
bursts out of.
He bursts out of
radioactive
him. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
and becomes the legendary super penguin. That's not its name. I'm just calling it that.
It's wild that penguin transforms into not a penguin, right?
That's what I was
Can we all
about to say.
agree?
What-
Yeah.
it's like a prehistoric bird.
This is death battle, isn't it? Right.
Yeah,
That's the series. Yeah.
and then Penguin
you-
8, Sam, he defeats all of them easily, and he lets out his fucking war cry.
Wait,
Uh,
but is
I-
he
I-
inside it?
Like
I think
like
that's-
a mech. Well,
I
it's like
think
his
that's-
spirit or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think it's a
Bird
spirit.
mech.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
bird mech.
Yeah.
And
Could
here's
you
the thing.
imagine doing a death battle on this, and we would then have to have this moment where it's like it's the penguin, wow, umbrellas and gadgets, and then finally he gets pissed off enough that he's like, "Blah!" Like, it's just,
Bird mode.
Well, to
Yeah.
be fair, I do think he had to be eaten by this giant radioactive bird to become this. And
Probably, yeah.
Supergirl is still behind him, very much alive and fine.
And what is? Oh, no, he isn't fighting Supergirl. He's just fighting the Dark Multiverse characters.
Okay.
But what's important about this is, and the reason I'm bringing it up is it's hilarious, and B, this is right before Wonder Woman resets like the multiverse, so he doesn't technically lose this form. He keeps this form until the universe is reset. So it isn't a thing that he lost. This is the Penguin's like canon final transformation. Yes, this is his true form.
I don't know about that.
So
oh, the thing you jumped about listed out a bunch
until
of penguins umbrellas.
what is it called? Infinite Worlds or whatever is
Yeah,
established. From this point on, he is
He is the
giant
bird.
monster man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Being his true self.
What the fuck is Kingpin gonna do to that?
What do you think, Sam?
Disintegrating Kane? I don't know. Probably just
Disintegrating
beat him
Kane.
up. Like, I mean,
I mean,
I
I
don't know
could
what a
see
giant penguin
Kingpin
can do.
fighting the giant bird for sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, he can fight the giant bird. He's
Yeah.
Kingpin, right? Okay, so while you think about how you're gonna respond to giant bird, it's not even a penguin. What kind of bird was that? It was like a
It's like
It's
a
like a
pterodactyl.
like-
It's
kind
like a
of thing.
prehistoric grackle. So,
yeah, yeah.
It's like a big crackle.
It's like-
While we're all digesting that new information because it's crazy, there is of course one other thing we really want to make sure we show today. There is a death battle coming up very soon this weekend. Our final death battle of 2024 before we move into 2025 is indeed Among Us versus Fall Guys. Guys, we haven't been lying to you. This hasn't been some big joke. It's actually happening.
it started here.
And it started here. It started here. We had a death battle cast like 2 years ago, I think, about Among Us versus Fall Guys. And the reason why we ended up falling in love with the matchup was thanks to you guys, in the chat talking it up and, getting included about it. But also because a member from the community, Larry Winwood, made a short little animation about like basically showing off what he imagined could be part of the fight. And I am so excited to say, I think we've already talked about this, but like he's part of the animation team for this. Like we brought him on. So
yeah,
it's freaking amazing. This has been such a fun experience making this episode. And I think you guys are going to like it. So without further ado, let's play the sneak peek for Among Us versus Fall Guys. That is just a little taste of what's to come. We really didn't want to show too much of it because like it gets crazy right away. But hopefully that gives a little taste of like the setup and the direction that this fight is going to be going, because I know a lot of people were wondering like how is this even going to work? You'll have to watch the full episode to find out. But I think you're going to enjoy what it ends up being. Man, it's very fun. I've been really enjoying
fun
putting
is
it
like
together.
the motif, the keyword. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Thank you, Todd
sounds
French.
like
The
Kingpin
boy.
Hmm?
Oh, I was just yelling out. We had a lot of support while this was happening.
Oh,
Gelatin Man
thank
again.
you.
Kidrex gifted out 5, and then Vamulator gifted out another 5. And then we got some super chats. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Everybody gets hyped. With the
awesome.
sneak peek.
Yeah. It sounds like Kingpin's not going to be having a whole lot of fun in this fight, though. He's got to deal with a giant mutant
Bird.
grackle. So,
I mean, see,
Bird up.
if Kingpin can go toe to toe with Daredevil, I don't think he's gonna have a lot of problems with a big bird.
does the big bird have any powers, or is it just a giant
Is
bird?
it just a big bird?
I think it's just a big bird, but it like eats those. It just kills them. It's like obviously like a super powered, like super strong big bird.
It's like he turns into a dinosaur all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like a
he's
big
just
dinosaur.
giant monster.
Yeah.
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 Rodan pops up in the middle of the
Yeah.
fight.
I saw a lot of people in the chat. I can't remember the character's name, but they were saying that Kingpin went head to head with a dude that Spider-Man never holds back against. And I can't remember what character that was, but the chat was saying it. This was like way earlier. So I'm sure they'll toss it in here in a second
Okay.
because that might help with the bird fighting argument. And then Gelatin Man gifted out another 5. You guys are going crazy. Super Money also gifted out a membership. Thank you.
Oh my god, it is. It's super money, but with the Y and the E's swapped. Why you gotta make? Tricky.
That broke me. Thor G says Daredevil couldn't beat the Vulture. To be fair,
Well, I mean, he is basically just a big bird.
Problems.
Tombstone. That's the character.
Rhino and Tombstone are both like really tough. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, right, because Tombstone works for Kingpin sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a guy who can take hits from Spider-Man. I mean,
and keep in mind, I know it is slightly alternate universe, but like Kingpin does kill Peter Parker.
Yeah, but he was already like
Injured,
on
sure.
death's door anyways. Yeah, he just like slams on his chest.
Yeah, but still, Spider-Man's chest, even injured, is like an
Alright,
impenetrable
alright.
wall.
it isn't a fight. To be fair, it is a coup de grace kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Think you're orange
And
blaster.
also, everybody's getting memberships because I see a lot of memberships being gifted right now. Give a shout out to whoever gives you the membership because huge thank you to everybody who's willing to gift those. It's always, it supports us, but also brings more of you guys into the fold, so you guys can be part of the chat and get to
Go hop
get in
into
the
our
vote.
Discord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jump into our Discord as well.
Penguin has kaiju penguin soldiers. He has kaiju penguins.
Sorry,
Took over
what?
New York. Yeah,
What?
that's reading in the chat. He has kaiju penguins apparently.
Yeah, I gotta always remember to pick the DC character. It's so stupid.
Oh, hang on, we're not done yet.
No.
Go up on your own.
Dumb
Yeah.
writers. Fuck. Kaiju penguins.
Clay-
Oh, it's so
Clayface
cool,
works
but
for him.
God damn it.
Clayface working for him is actually pretty. If that's true, then if we're including like henchmen, then Clayface I think is also a big.
Yeah, probably.
One
What
that
are
would
the?
have.
I think there's a difference though
useful.
between henchmen that work for somebody with like Clayface seems like the character that needs money. Whereas like I think there's a difference. Like a lot of people work for Kingpin not because they're like, I need to be rich. They're already wealthy, right? Like Elektra
"I believe in
doesn't
this."
need money. Like Elektra's fine.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I don't think that. Okay.
Super
I
says
did
it's Super
see-
Munye.
Meunier. Yeah. I did see some people in the chat asking like, if we were to do this as an actual episode, would it be like an army fight? And I think to some extent it makes sense to me to make it be like a mob battle sort of thing. Like
turf war.
turf war. Who can take over this specific like bureau or something like that. But so I don't know. Like I'm this is Death Metal Cast, so everything's kind of loose, and we're sort of like obviously figuring some of it out as we go. So I don't know if we necessarily want to keep that based on what we talked about earlier. I don't know if we necessarily want to like have that in mind right now. But if you guys are interested in seeing that kind of death battle, let us know, because I personally think it would be pretty dope. I think it'd be very different from anything that we've done before.
It starts as this street level fight with the mob bosses, and now it's like ending with like Kingpin leaping off of a building and beating a kaiju penguin to death while Penguin turns into a massive bird and flies in. Like, it was like most people would have no idea where this thing was going. Like,
Not at all, no.
like
Oh my god.
Zelda
Okay.
says in Batman Arkham, Penguin imprisoned Mr. Freeze and has Bane style henchmen. Yeah, that's another thing for the army
sure.
fight.
I'm sure at some point he's used like some kind of Bane style venom
Dude,
or whatever.
All the
Um,
penguins too. I want to do this fight so bad now. Like,
What an interesting match.
This was more interesting than when we proposed it. We were like, "Yeah, good penguin because of the show."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of
Interesting
everyone's like,
episode.
"Well, Kingpin's just gonna rip him in half," and then I found that workout image, and then I was already sold.
That workout
it
image
was-
though is not like like Kingpin like beats the shit out of like Shang-Chi and stuff. Like he's fine. Like he's not because a guy trained for 3 months, he's not gonna get got, right?
No.
Like Kingpin
Oh, yeah,
is
no.
insane.
who knows
You're
how
right,
heavy
like-
those weights were? Maybe it was like 1,000,000 tons. I
Yeah.
We are
Oh
at the end of the hour, so let's get our closing arguments, and then we will get the vote started. So let's start with Liam. Liam, anything you want to say about Penguin at the end here?
Comparable stats. He can keep up in a physical fight. Plus, he has 1,000,000,001 umbrellas. Plus, he has the bird army. Plus, he has the fucking gigantic bird farm. He just can he can keep up with Kingpin and then overwhelm him with a billion different options.
Okay, and Sam,
If
Kingpin.
Penguin can have his bird army, then Kingpin can have his goons, which includes Elektra and Typhoid Mary and all these people they're going to decimate.
Clayface.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to hold up to everything Kingpin has. But without his army, when it's just the Penguin versus Kingpin, I don't think Penguin has any chance. Kingpin is way stronger, beats up way more powerful foes all the time. And
Let's
like
say he fights
just,
a lot of animal themed people. Like they exist a lot in that
does.
universe. So like,
and he can just get blasted in the face by Doctor Doom, and he's totally fine. Just chokes out Doctor Doom. He chokes out so many people. That's like the way he beats people.
The
is
real
just
Doctor
choking them
Doom,
out.
definitely not
Definitely
a
the
Doom.
definitely
real
not a
Dr.
Doom bot.
Liam can't prove it's a Doom bot. So until Liam can prove it's a Doom bot, he beats Doctor Doom. What else do you want,
We're
bud?
doing this
Someone says,
episode,
wait,
and I'm
somebody
going to-
says he has Iron Man armor. What?
I'm probably.
Penguin probably does not have Iron Man armor, but thank you.
I was ready for you to have a panel. It's like, and here's Penguin and the Hellbat. Like, it's just, the Hell
All right,
Penguin.
Paul
Yeah. Thank you,
is
T
up.
Jax.
Um,
Kino.
He has Iron Man armor in a game. It looks like in an Armor Wars game.
Okay, and now we've got giant bird penguin and Kingpin flying around in Iron Man armor fighting each other. Yes.
Okay. So
Yes,
I mean,
Iron Man
that
armor just
is
like super
just from the
ill-fitting.
game, so that's like separate continuity. I also will say, like, at the end of the day, the bird form, as funny as it is, it does require a very specific set of circumstances for him to be able to
needs to
achieve
be
it.
eaten by a radioactive
Well,
bird.
Alternate universe penguin.
I think
and
we
be
would-
in an alternate universe where we're not sure if he's only transforming because that universe allows that kind of shenanigans.
yeah, I mean, I think we need to look into that more, right? Right?
Well,
Because it's
okay,
like,
so
is it in a moment of ultimate desperation, the true
Nuke
form
umbrella.
comes out, right?
Oh,
Or-
that's just inherent to him? No. It can't be. It can't be. So I'm leaning towards, the poll is up. You guys can get your votes in right now. I'm leaning towards Kingpin, but I'm curious what you're thinking, Chad.
Yeah, I think Kingpin v Penguin, these two humans fighting, Kingpin wins. I think the army, I don't know, and is super interesting. But I think just the two fighting, Kingpin's got it. He's so much stronger.
Lofty says Kingpin has a henchman called the Answer who can adapt new powers on the fly to beat any opponent, and did that with Spider-Man. Interesting.
Ooh, yeah, it would definitely be a bigger discussion for the army fight, essentially. What you think?
I think
Nuke umbrella.
I was originally leaning towards Kingpin going into this, but with the amount of gadgets and flight and stuff, like the dual wheel, like being able to fly and then also use the other umbrellas, like I think, and also Penguin army, giant kaijus. I think
No army.
Penguin has. Well, I think even in a normal fight, Penguin can bring in his penguins, like he's trained them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Kingpin's
like-
trained henchmen. Like, I don't know, especially when the penguins are intelligent penguins. I don't really know what the
Clayface.
difference is very much.
They're not intelligent. They're just trained. He goes like, "Scrah," and then the hawk goes and like eats Batman's face.
I'm.
Uh,
I have been swayed to the side of the penguin.
Okay.
For
Okay.
this one.
I would
So
like to
we-
say, with the nuke umbrella, it's just a tie. No way either of them survive a nuclear blast
Jet
at
into
point
the
blank.
stratosphere and then shoot down. The fucking
Also-
Just still
orbital
very
strike.
dead.
I couldn't-
my
I
God.
couldn't-
Also,
I could not
if
find the
he-
nuke umbrella, by the way.
If the whole reason why he turns into a giant kaiju bird is because of radiation,
It's because of the nuke umbrella.
he could
he's-
turn
he's-
into it.
Oh fuck! Yeah.
So stupid.
He just bursts from the ashes of Kingpin's
Yeah.
corpse, and like, and that's the final shot. Yeah, perfect.
He's like eating him, like doing the bird thing where they pull the strips of flesh
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God! What a stupid idea for a matchup. This is so dumb. All right, let's go ahead and get the final votes in. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. This has been a very fun matchup to discuss. I think quite a surprise for all of us. All right, wrapping up the poll right now, and we have, with 57% of the vote, Kingpin
I'm proud of what I did.
Hey,
After all of that, Kingpin wins.
Kingpin.
Wow.
You got one, Sam.
And with that, Sam
I beat the
takes
hell
one
out of
over
you last
Liam.
week. I fucking trounced you with my epic peach knowledge.
I did what I could.
I'm proud of my performance. I think
Yeah.
I think that would have been a lot more lopsided had I not come in with the fucking giant bird transformation.
Joe says I voted for Penguin because of the kaiju. I think you swayed a lot of people, Liam, with the giant bird transformation. Because that was honestly a little closer than I thought it was going to be. But thank you all for joining us for this live show and for voting. Again, I'm curious. Like, do you want to see this matchup and do you want to see it as a mob fight? And if not this one specifically, I am curious if there's like another sort of like gang war, I guess you could say, matchup that you think would be interesting to explore in a death battle. Not necessarily like full trained armies, but like turf war kind of stuff. Because that's kind of interesting to me. It's very different from what we've done before, and it would be a completely different sort of avenue to explore. So let us know what you think about that, and if there's a matchup that you have in mind. We would love to hear about it in the comments below. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Sam and Liam, for taking on repping such bizarre comic book characters. What a fun ride. All right. Thank you all. We will see you next week. Take care.